Hi, I'm Joe Ravita from Empire Music, empiremusic.com in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And we are Taylor Guitars' online preferred dealer, one of a handful in the world. And we bring you the coolest Taylor gear. And today I'm delivering something very, very cool, the Taylor 326ce Baritone 8-string limited edition. Like all of our Taylor guitars, you can see them right at empiremusic.com. You can chat with us through the site, call us with your trade-ins, call us with your questions, call us about financing. We will hook you up, take great care of you. Most notably, we do a full professional factory setup before we ship you your guitar. So it is dialed in before we send it out to you, not just an inspection. We dial it to factory spec, bring it to its best capabilities. Now, man, I love this guitar. Taylor's done the baritones in the past, and the 8-string is so awesome. It's like one of those things where we're always looking for a reason to get a new guitar, right? And this gives us 8 great reasons to get an amazing new instrument. It's a Grand Symphony body shape, which is perfect. So just let's start there. With the Grand Symphony body shape, it's only slightly wider from here to here than a Grand Auditorium, so not that different really. But sonically, it makes a big difference because we have a little bit more space. Tuned B to B, so a low B, then your standard orientation, so all your standard chords work. We have octave strings, like a 12-string, on what would be your 3rd and 4th strings. Typically your D and G strings, right? So we have an octave above. Why that's important is like the baritone, unlike the baritone 6-string, which is just 6 individual baritone strings, those octave strings give us a little bit of life, give us a little sparkle. The 6-string is very powerful and bottom heavy and full. This gives you a little bit of breath, a little bit of freshness to your sound, which I find to be really, really important. It's a 27-inch scale, so an inch and a half longer than a traditional scale. If you capo this, just for your orientation, if you capo this on the 5th fret, it would be your standard tuning from here up. So basically you're getting all of these from the 4th fret below are all notes that don't typically exist on a standard acoustic or electric guitar. So we have a lot of room for new inspiration. If we have a low voice, you can really find a way to sound unique and kind of give yourself a new palette of sounds. All mahogany designs, so solid mahogany top, back, and sides. The bracing is, they call it just their baritone bracing pattern. You know, it's traditional to this model. Shaded edge burst finish, which is beautiful. I think they call them like gem inlays. Pretty cool inlay, nothing over the top. Mahogany is beautiful. Mahogany neck, ebony board and bridge, ES2 electronics package, of course a hard shell case. What really makes this guitar work is Taylor, I think Taylor's specialty. Their calling card is their definition and note articulation. If this was a platform that was sludgy sonically to begin with, then we made it a baritone, it would be unbearable. You know, it's like if you've ever played, I'm not gonna say, there's a lot of brands that have made baritones, both low end and whatever, and they always sound just terrible. You know what I mean? It's just like, these are very complicated to build properly. You want the guitar to have that bottom end, that fullness, but you want to be able to tell the notes apart, right? You know, it's like, that's kind of important. So Taylor's masterful at note separation and definition. And here, it's just like, that's just probably, I think, the #1 trait that we have to worry about, and it clears the hurdle, obviously, rather easily. It sounds so good because we get that clarity, and without it, anything else is moot. It would be useless to talk about the guitar. And I always feel like with an instrument like this, sometimes it's fun to buy like a cool, cheap this or that, but if it sounds bad, we're not going to play it. So sometimes it's just the cost of getting into the club is X, and we got to pay it. And in this instance, I think this is one of those spaces where it's like it behooves us to invest in something great if we want one. And it sounds awesome. So let's do what I like to do in all of my Taylor reviews. It's kind of just go through the dynamic range of the instrument. We'll pick it and play it heavily, and then we'll talk about the mids, which is these are like a really great way to kind of like highlight this stuff. What you'll notice about mahogany is the top, right? Is it's very round, which is great. So it sounds sweet and lush with this design. If you were gonna bludgeon this guitar, you're gonna find that the ceiling on it isn't as high as spruce, right? So if you're a very heavy player or you wanna play heavy-handed, you might not have the headroom that you want, but for the, I always feel like we talk to many, many customers in a given day or week, and most players don't fall into the category where that would be an obstacle. Though you know who you are. If you're like, hey, I wonder if I play really heavy, you probably do. You know what I mean? It's just like if you're super, super heavy, you like to play really aggressively, spruce tops are better for that. But for the rest of us, you'll find that this guitar has plenty of headroom. So let's play light to medium to heavy and kind of give you the range that it gives you, and then we'll talk about the mids. First thing's noticeable is the bottom end. The first time you bang this low, what would be your G typically, right? It has just a monster response. Very, it's almost like a bass guitar is playing behind you, which is awesome. But notice it still keeps its integrity. We don't lose that, that bit. Obviously, individually picking is great because the mahogany top responds very fast. We get great tone easily. I took it to the level where it sounds good, played heavily. I think beyond that, if obviously if you sing and you play much louder than that, it would be very difficult. You'd be like shouting over the instrument. And obviously if you plug in, then we don't need to worry about playing quite that heavily. So like I said, the dynamic range I think is good for 91.5% of us. I think the other 8.5% of us might have a trouble with it. So it'll do the trick there. Now let's talk about the mids. Well, the mids are awesome on this. Super responsive because of the 8 string. So the octave strings here will really give this a beautiful color. It's gorgeous. It's so fun. You can write 1,000 new songs with a guitar like this. It's just there's all these new tones that you're just not used to. You want to expand your guitar collection. You want to have new tools. This is how you do it. You get something really amazing. The Taylor 326ce Baritone-8 string. It's a limited edition. All mahogany design, 27-inch scale, B2B tuning, expression system, of course. We're your spot for it here at Empire Music. You can go to empiremusic.com. You can see the photos of the actual guitars, never a stock photo. Full pro factory setup on every single instrument we sell in store and online. We will professionally package it. We'll get it to you. We'll hook you up. If you have trade-ins, we'll take them. Give you a great deal on that. Give us a shout, 412-343-5299. Please subscribe to our channel if you like our content. Reach out to us here at Empire on anything Taylor related. I'm Joe from Empire Music with the Taylor 326ce Baritone 8 string limited. Thanks for watching.